This won't even be a long video because it shouldn't even be that complicated, right? Super Bowl is going down in New Orleans in February, Black History Month, whatever the case may be. And Kendrick Lamar has been announced as the headliner. I think we could talk about this without disparaging Kendrick, without throwing Kenny under the bus, without making this about Kendrick versus Drake versus Cash Money versus any of that, right? Like, because none of that really matters. Um, I think the biggest thing is right, and sure, we could say, Super Bowls past have happened in New Orleans and Lil Wayne wasn't a topic and Lil Wayne wasn't up for discussion. Cool. None of that really matters for this particular moment or argument, but good to know, right? Um, the thing is, Weezy came out since last year or earlier this year for sure and said, hey, it's going down in my hometown. I want it, right? Like, he wants it and he's deserving of it, right? Like, and I think that's the biggest thing, right? Like, you could put a period right there. You really don't have to get into who has more hits and who's the bigger artist of the moment. Let's be serious, right? Like, let's be serious, right? Let's not look at Lil Wayne's catalog and Lil Wayne's history and act like it doesn't exist, right? Like, we still talking about Weezy F baby. Don't forget the F. Like, I'm confused, right? Like, so for the folks who are like, oh, he doesn't have enough hits. Reminder: the Super Bowl is 12 minutes, right? We're not talking about the 50-minute set. 12 minutes. And maybe you could go up to 14, right? Like, I think Rihanna was able to go up to 13 and a half, something like that. Let's say you go up to 14. Wheezy Baby doesn't have 14 minutes worth of hits. Like, so let's look at it, right? A Millie, clearly. His verse on God Did, let's say, right? Lollipop, classic. Mrs. Officer, big time classic. Um, Hustler Music, I would vote for it without a doubt. Go DJ, obvious. That brings out Manny Fresh. Throw in a quick Big Timers Hot Boys set, right? Like, we not gonna back that thing up. One of the biggest records of our lifetimes. Like, let's be serious, right? And that's just a quick look. I didn't even get into features. Yeah, I gave you God Did real quick, just because that's in the last year or so. But like, we talking about the feature run he had this year alone. Like, let's be serious. Like, it just feels like people are finding a reason to hate, and people are trying to throw him under the bus. I done heard people talk about, oh, he talked about race. He supports Trump. Trump literally gave this man a pardon from prison. He was going to prison. Maybe y'all should go read up on it. Go read up on those facts. The man was going to prison. Trump gave him a pardon. Why would he? Of course, he got to return the favor. Like, that's not even up for discussion, right? Like, what is that? In February, Trump might be in office. What that got to do with Wheezy, right? Like, I. So yes, Kenny performed 2 years ago in LA, right? So that's, again, without necessarily throwing him under the bus, without making this a Kenny versus Drake or Kenny versus Wayne thing. Kenny literally just performed. You just had your moment 2 years ago. There's no real reason to bring you 3 years ago, because it was Rihanna then Usher. So it was in LA was Dre, Snoop, Kenny, 50 Cent, Eminem. Great show. Rihanna did the year after that. Usher did last year. So again, for the folks that are saying, oh, it's about having the biggest hits of the moment, what hits did Dr. Dre and Snoop have of the moment that made them the headliners that year? Okay. Rihanna. What hits did she have that made her the headliner of the moment? Okay, okay. Usher. Don't tell me Good Good's the hit. Don't get me wrong. Usher had a year. He had a year. It made sense. I can't even hate on it. But to now tell me that Lil Wayne doesn't fit because he doesn't meet the criteria, and then to say, oh, like, Wayne doesn't remember his lyrics, Wayne is too drugged, like, y'all just making stuff up at this point. Like, Wayne, I want to say just last year, did the Amazon show for Thursday Night Football, right? Thursday night after show, did an hour long set. I don't go find it. Tell me that man didn't kill that show. Like, let's be serious. Y'all don't want to hear right above it. Y'all don't want to see Nicki and Drake possibly come out. Y'all don't want to see Cash Money in New Orleans in 2025. Like, make it make sense, man. None of it made sense. None of it makes sense. It should have been Weezy, man. Like, and there's no reason Kenny couldn't do this next year, right? Like, there's absolutely no reason. He'll probably drop a project he can have next year. This should have been Weezy.